Invite our fourth speakers, Brian Ernst. Silence is golden. Silence is golden, Brian Ernst.
Silence is golden. A quote commonly used by most parents to shut their kids up if they know they will lose an argument against them. It has been ranked first in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the most inappropriately used word, topping off beating the F-bomb, the synonym for crap, and the alternate representation of a female grown puppy. Toastmasters of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests, even though I just made that all up, it is undeniably certain that a lot of us can't stand being silent most of the time. We want to voice out, but we fear the consequences. We want to reject, deny, oppose a notion, but we fear disagreement and rejection. We want to set things straight, but we fear the lack of support. All these scenarios combined has forced us to remain mute when it comes to dealing with problems with our daily lives. Now, before I delve in depth into this topic, let me just make things clear. I'm not implying that silence is utter garbage or not important or that it is not gold, but to provide an alternate insight to why silence is not always the best option. Because let's face it, time changes, the world rotates, and we all grow. So to further discuss about this subject, let us look at the simplest thing that revolves around our daily life. Chances, opportunities that are capable of bringing changes into our lives. How many of you guys here have suffered a loss due to silence? Be it a loss of opportunity, a botched relationship, or even failing to get 50 cents of change back from a cashier because you forgot to remind him. Please raise your hands. Alright. See, silence, it causes a lot of chances and opportunities, and it happened to me as well. I lost one of the biggest opportunity to pursue my passion in debate because of silence. As we all know, in every district within a state, there is a ministry called PPD, and as we all call it, the District Education Ministry. And one of its responsibilities is to inform, select, and send representatives to represent the district in competitions organized in the future. I participated in my first debate competition in 2012, and I immediately wanted to go participate again the next year to compete and learn from one of my opponents, the team from Alor Aka from Kuantan, Pahang. I fell short in the quarterfinals in 2012, got disqualified because the opponent team played dirty tricks in 2013, and lost my final chance in 2014 due to silence. I was naive to think that the ministry had it all sorted out. I should have requested for the opportunity, but I didn't. And I only found out about the competition when the news reported that the team from Alor Aka snagged the trophy once again. Now, a few days ago, I started this discussion with one of my friends. I asked him, what is your point of view towards silence? He said, it is best for us to remain silent if the consequences can be calculated. He further went on to explain that if the risks are negative but manageable, we should remain silent so that we won't cause a stir. Now here's my take on the subject. Why remain silent? Why be quiet when we can control the consequences, when we can control the outcome? I mean, come on, it's like watching a fire lit by a cigarette butt and thinking to yourself, it's a small flame, I'll just let it burn and I'll call the fire department when it grows out of control. It's ridiculous. I've organized a lot of events from past till now, and one of the biggest lessons that I learned is to never, ever learn to be silent. One of the experience I had was a department refused to cooperate. They refused to listen, they refused to improve, they chose to be stubborn. And the majority of people adopted the attitude of, never mind, let him do it, let them do it, they will fail, and when they fail, you yell at them. But why? Why not convince them? Why not persuade them with reasons? Make them listen? Why not voice out your concern there and then? Why wait? Because if a project fails, it becomes nothing more than a symbolization of failure and a laughing stock. A problem must be tackled as soon as it surfaces, not when damages have been done. If that's not convincing enough, let's look at the modern era, where silence plays a big role in the chaos and havoc circulating globally. Unjust in law, human rights rejected, abused, revoked, bombings of innocent lives. Silence has become more of an enemy than goal. How did we get our democracy? Yes, there were wars, but there were also voices from the masses, activists, freedom fighters. They used their voice as a medium in exchange for our freedom, our independence, and our democracy. A country can be democratic even if the entire population is mute. But the ruling party can easily overshadow the entire government, the entire country, the entire nation, because of the lack of a collective voice. So let us all answer this truthfully. Is it still time for us to remain silent? Bombings of innocent lives in Syria, do we still remain voiceless even after there are injustices in law? A doctor rushing to get to his shift being beaten up and dragged off a plane. Activists fighting for our freedoms and rights go missing in our country. Do we still remain silent? Silence is gold, but only to those who oppress us. It is toxic to us who are being oppressed. Let us all speak out. Our voice is our concern, and our concern can be exchanged for a life, a harmony for a nation, and a brighter future. Let's not wait any longer. Be vocal post haste, because silence is not a wise choice in this age. Thank you. Back to you.